feels so strict. Oh, wait, we gotta turn that around. Okay, it's 3 o'clock and we are ready to go. I don't like the way this thing goes. So hold on, I'm gonna let Will take the camera here, and I flipped it around so you can film me. Hi everybody, it is Home Cooking with Jason and Michelle. So we're gonna do it a little bit different as we perfect this show. We appreciate everybody that comes in. 2 weeks ago, we had 700 views at minimum. Last week, we had a little over 500 views. So we want to thank you. And we want you guys, if you're tuning in, please share this with your friends and family on your Facebook. We would really love for everybody to come in. Know that if you ask questions, we will answer them during the show, or we will come back after the show and answer your questions. It's a pet peeve of mine. So any questions that you might have through the show, please put them out there. We'll pay attention. So Jason's going to give us a quick market update real quick.
Yes, so while you guys get everything rolling, just want to talk real quick about rates. That seems to be a hot topic. Rates are definitely going up. A lot of people are going into panic mode. It's not quite there yet. We're looking at probably being in a 5% market, I would say, come the third quarter. Currently rates are around 4.5 to 4 3/4. Depending upon, loan to value, how much you're putting down is where that comes into equation, credit score, that sort of stuff. But what I wanted to spend a quick second on is what the actual rate is. So I get it every day, I quote someone a rate, and then they go online. Go online and see the magical rate. The magical rate that probably costs you $4 or $5 grand more to get. But the common consumer doesn't understand why that is. So I just want to make sure when you're quoting rates from wherever you're looking to do, if you're getting a quote from me, you're getting what I call 0-0. 0 discount points, 0 origination fees, which means here's your rate, paying normal closing costs of just say $2,500. What we see a lot of the local banks and credit unions and basically anybody online has gone to sneaking in the little thing I call the discount point. And they'll say, well, Jason, your rate's a quarter out of market. No, it's not. They're charging you a percent. So 1 point is 1% of your loan amount. So if you're borrowing $200,000, that's $2,000 in additional cost. So lenders legally can say your closing costs are this, and they don't count the discount call as closing cost. That's a way to buy down the rate. It's constant smoke and mirrors. So I just want to talk about that real quick because I get it literally 2 to 3 times a day where they say, well, your rate's higher. No, my rate's not higher. It's just the cost.
Did you wish you had like this? Hold on, I'm just going to play a little tape for you. No, my rate is not higher.
But again, I'm not saying the consumer is wrong for thinking that. It's just you need to understand total cost alone. And that's just the sneaky way with the new verbiage that came out a while ago.
Isn't there something legal that they have to do when they have like online what this rate is? Isn't there small print?
There's an APR, and a percentage rate that goes along with that. So typically if you see the rate's 4 1/4 and the APR is 4.5, that means you're paying extra fees.
Right. So they legally have to disclose that,
They do,
right?
but it's really, really small.
So.
And like again, the biggest thing is they say, no, our closing costs are this. Because they don't count that discount point as a closing cost. So it's just sneaky's maybe not the word, it's just they do that, and then typically the consumer doesn't realize it until they've signed everything. They're like, oh,
okay, so he's going to be real polite. I think it's a bait and switch. So anyway, I think they just want to get you in there so you won't do anything else, and then the next thing you know, you got a different interest rate. So always call Jason first and see what it is, and then when we go out shopping, if you want to compare, then you can compare again. You're fine with that, and then it will be apples to apples, true numbers. But definitely call Jason. We just had another deal that might not close because of not a thorough pre-approval. Jason will give you a thorough pre-approval. I know we've been harping on this, but because every week it keeps happening.
Well, and with our market, as you know, our market is crazy. So then you have listing agents, rightfully so, are being pickier than they ever have in the past.
That's right.
I just had a deal, a customer referred our way because they were with Cardinal Financial. They may be a great institution, but no one's heard of them. And the listing agent actually said, we love your offer, but we want you to go to a local bank. Or
it's because they know it's going to close.
Right.
They know it's going to close. They know the reputation of the lender. I can't tell you, when you come to the Gordon Group, we make you a strong buyer. One of the things we do to make you a strong buyer is get you a strong pre-approval.
Right.
All right, we're done harping.
Okay.
And I wanted to pour beer, but I don't. So anyway, you guys know that I'm gluten-free. And I can have cider if I want to drink beer, and I don't usually like cider. But I was at Wine and Chocolate, the fundraiser they do every year for the women's shelter, and Painted Turtle was there.
Okay.
Best cider ever if you don't like the taste of cider. So it tastes like apple. And they have cinnamon and they have all these other flavors, but I don't know how to get it out of here.
It's really quite complex.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So today we're going, if you didn't watch my preview, today we're going to do some food that you might want to incorporate on your Easter table or your Passover table or whatever it is that you do at this time of year. So I do an Easter brunch. My Easter brunch table is really funny because I need vegan, I need dairy-free, I need gluten-free, I need some that are both gluten-free, dairy-free, but not necessarily vegan. And I need some food that is full of gluten and dairy and all the good stuff. So I have quite the, what would you say, diverse table. So Wendy, doctor, is a friend of ours that we met at BNI, at our ADA BNI. We met at BNI. So I will tell you, Wendy is a great person. And just 1 minute, let me show you something. Wendy is in my kitchen every day. If you want to know the truth, it's over here. I forgot I moved you because I buy more product. So it's moringa, and I buy her protein because that helps me in the afternoon. And then I also do the, I think I'm out, the green things every morning. The super mix. Yeah, everybody likes the super mix. So
I don't like it.
I have it.
So, well, yeah, oh wait, here it is, I got one box off. So it's the super mix. So it's a moringa plant, and the super mix you can have in the morning, and it's like an anti-inflammatory. I don't sell it, but I will tell you, because of my hands and because of my stomach issues that all of you know, this anti-inflammatory really, really helps with everything. And I use this in baking as well, and it's very good. Or I'll just mix it out with some coconut water and a banana in the afternoon. Wendy doesn't really like that I mix it with stuff, but I gotta mix it with stuff. So
You can do whatever you want. Get it in your body.
So that's right. So Wendy also was telling me about essential oils, and I know you can use the essential oils to cook. What I didn't know is you can have regular herb essential oils. Did you see that? You're gonna smell those. They're like amazingly powerful. And I'm thinking that they would probably last forever unless someone like me who cooks all the time. And isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Smell this one. This is thyme.
This was rosemary, and that was good.
So we'll use this in our cooking
So
today.
like, you know, there's rosemary chicken. You can make rosemary
Nutmeg.
chicken.
That
Okay,
one.
that's your specialty.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
See, he was listening. I use nutmeg on everything, so there's nutmeg. So anyway, we are going to start cooking by Wendy's direction. I didn't have to do anything to prepare for today's show, except for open beer, and I couldn't even do that. So cheers, everybody. Let's start cooking.
Cheers.
Okay.
What are we making?
So
Well, today I have a healthy spinach quiche, and
So good.
the base of it, our crust is going to be sweet potato. So literally, we peel the sweet potato and we cut it up very thin in accurate slices too, so that we can get that in the oven.
So you probably use like a food processor
Yes.
or
Yeah.
a Cuisinart or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
because it's potato chip thin.
Yeah.
So if
And
they,
you want them even.
you want them even, so you can see it's really, really thin.
Yeah.
So
So that will be our crust. So I just put a little olive oil on my dish, pie plate, and put the little chips of sweet potato. So this is going to go in the oven for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
You don't have to, but I like it better when I
Good.
put it in the oven.
So while we're cooking, we're going to talk a little bit about this.
This one needs to get on here unless you want it.
Oh, we didn't turn that one on?
Should we just slide it in here then?
So, well, here, we'll put this one on. It will get warm real quick. I thought I had that on. I cleaned it out for you. We'll give it 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But, and we can start the quiche,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So we're going to chop onions. Want to give Jason the chopping job on the onions?
Absolutely.
Ah!
Hey, keep it
I
simple.
need
I like
somebody
it.
else to do them, and they need to be a little small.
A little small.
Okay.
And so this last week, we lost an offer to a contingency offer, and Jason was the lender and on the offer, and Jason even called the list agent, because you knew the list agent.
Yep.
And we wrote offer over asking. It was a conventional offer. We didn't ask for any closing costs or prepaids. It was the cleanest offer you could ever have. The people wanted 45 days after close. We told them they could have 45 days or more. We didn't care that we would play ball, however they wanted to play ball. The agent was all about it. The agent was very excited about taking the offer because he trusted Jason and he knew that if Jason had written the pre-approval that that was going to actually happen and that it was going to go through. And the sellers were afraid of the contingency offer because our house wasn't listed yet. So the house that we were going to list once we had an accepted offer, I have to have a sip of this. This is so good. Was in Alger Heights. Now, my realtor friends who are on Facebook, you know Alger Heights. If I list a house in Alger Heights tomorrow, it will sell by Friday. But the people were very scared to take the offer because they were afraid of the contingency, which the agent wasn't, the listing agent, I'm sure he presented it well, because you always worry how the other side presents your offer. I am absolutely sure he presented it well. We wrote it well. It was clean. We had a good pre-approval. But I guess one of the things they had done is they wrote an offer on a property without a contingency when they really needed a contingency. So think about it for a minute. It's my buyer buying this house. These people are buying this house. It's a string. I've done it to where there was up to 5 people. Right? So there's a string of people. So these people were really worried. Although they could afford to own 2 houses and was approved to do it, so they weren't misleading anybody, they really, really didn't want to.
Right.
So it would have put them in a financial bind. But they knew they couldn't put an offer in contingent because sellers aren't accepting contingent offers, which I wanted to talk about that because I think the contingent offer is the more solid offer. Think about it. They're going to be under contract with somebody else. They can't just easily walk away from what they're doing. If you have a non-contingent offer, usually it means I can go and take your house or I can leave your house. It's really not a big deal. So if I want to be really pissy through the home inspection, I can be pissy through the home inspection because I have nothing to lose. I have absolutely nothing to lose. Also, these people that are doing the contingent offers, they are experienced home buyers. They're also not going to be freaked out about things that they see on the inspection report.
Well, not only that, but
You
the
know?
person if you're accepting the contingent offer, and you know you're lucky to get the contingent offer accepted, you're going to be less likely to be nitpicky.
Right,
You're just
because they
happy
want
that-
everybody else to go through, right?
So I mean, and that's not to say you're going to walk away or allow something major to go through, but some of the things that someone who, it's like, whatever, I'm not contingent, I can go off or whatever, and I know I'll have a better chance of getting accepted. I agree. So then now they've accepted, so I think, you know what, we're lucky they took it. Let's not get nitpicky over the GFA being upside down or something silly like that.
No, I know, that's very true. So, you know, I think agents are now on board with this because they understand
Well,
this.
I don't know about that.
No, well, if you're an agent and you're listening to it, you really should be.
Well, I think you need to think about it because, I mean, I have agents who are like,
should.
don't even send me a pre-approval if it's contingent.
Right, right. And so it's just, you need to, sorry, I just signed on. Hi, Grant. Hi, Felicia. Oh, Felicia says she's coming over for dinner. Wendy, she's going to come eat. So,
I'll take
Small enough?
but I was,
Okay.
just the right amount.
Okay. good.
so you see, okay, so Wendy's getting ready to make the quiche.
Yes.
And you're sauteing what over here?
I'm
So,
sauteing a little garlic and olive oil, and
I can
I'll put a
smell
little
it.
of this red onion in it.
so Wendy said we could use any kind of oil in this. She said that we could use olive oil. So I hear avocado oil is the next best high. So you see, I think what you're supposed to say is it's supposed to be good for high temps, right?
Yep.
And then, oh, here it is. High heat cooking. That's what you want to know when you get different sautés. So this is grapeseed oil. I like grapeseed oil if I don't want it to flavor my food.
Okay.
So, let me drop something here. There we go. Kelsey, I know you're watching, and we worked out today. That was really painful right there.
I'll add a
So-
little more of this, then I'll add, if you want to grab the spinach.
I'll grab the spinach. We got that over here. Now, no, if you've never sauteed spinach, it might look like a lot when you put it in there. Spinach goes down to about the 1/4 of the size. a fourth of the size of the spinach. Ready? So we're gonna put the spinach in here.
Yeah, we can put a good amount.
Good
because
amount.
This is gonna be our filler, along with the coconut milk and the eggs.
So we used coconut milk. You could use almond milk. If you go to Kingma's in Ada, that's where I buy most of my stuff now. That they're local, and I'm very excited, and their quality is very good. If you go to Kingma's, they have coconut milk, they have almond milk, they have cashew milk, they have hazelnut milk. So the hazelnut milk is really, really nutty flavor, and in a omelet like this, I think that would taste really good.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really good.
So we will grab the nutmeg
I'm gonna
at this
put
point.
in. How long do you want it in for?
That can go in for about 10 minutes.
So we're gonna put that in for 10 minutes and watch this. Watch this. So you guys, if you have an Alexa, you just do this. Alexa, put 10 minutes on the timer. Look at that. Oh, there we go. All set. Okay, so now go ahead.
And we'll put a drop. This is pretty powerful because it's super concentrated.
Is that the hazelnut?
No, this is nutmeg.
Okay, or nutmeg. So we're putting nutmeg and
Into the egg and the coconut mixture so we
Okay.
get that nice nutty flavor.
okay.
And I'm just gonna really put 2 drops.
Isn't that amazing?
It's very powerful.
It's crazy.
These are clinical grade oil. So it's like you're looking at a pure, pristine product that is cell permeable, and all of our oils can be followed. They all have a lot number, so you know where they came from, and they have to meet a criteria, a high standard, enough so that there's white papers, medical white papers written with our name on it.
Oh, her essential oils are like bar none. Now, while you're doing this, the lemon is good for detox, right?
Yes.
So if you guys drink water all day like I do, if you put the lemon in it, it's really good for the detox. So back to the real estate. So the contingent offers, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Don't be scared of the contingent offer. Be more concerned about the financing, type of finance. That was the other thing. We were putting 20% down.
Right.
So we were putting 20% down. I would be more concerned with the financing going through and being able to get to the closing table. So you want to look at that offer in whole. And if I think it's important that you do that. I think at this point, you need to really trust your agent. Like this list agent, I know batted for us.
Sure.
I know this list agent said, do it, and the seller said no. You hired your agent because you trust them. You hire their agent because they do this for a full-time living job, hopefully, and they know better. I've been doing it for 16 years. You've been doing it for 21 years. We know what we're doing. We know how to look at the offer. We know how to read between the lines in the offer. You gotta trust your agent, and I felt so bad for those people. So that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about. So also, a spring market's coming. We haven't had a good first quarter, have we?
No, not really. January, February were pretty not good.
It's been bad nationally, so I was getting really bummed because I was like, gosh, my sales are a little lower than they were last year. And I went to this really great class yesterday, and unfortunately, I'm not the only one, but fortunately, I'm not the only one, so now I'm not feeling so bad about myself anymore. It's way down. Sales are way down January and February, and no one's buying anything. I know it's there. I know people are sitting on the fence. I have all kinds of relocation people going, I'm going to, but nothing is happening. And so it's kind of hard right now, but I think the weather breaks.
That was
and
way smoother than when I did it.
she knows what she's doing.
I don't.
She does. Man, I usually let my wine sit when we cook. You don't like this, do you? Because you're not
No,
drinking
it's
it.
fine. No, I'm not a big cider guy.
I don't really like
It's not bad though.
This is delicious. So, sorry, I might get a little tipsy towards the end of the show.
Well, I didn't give you very much, so hopefully you're okay.
What?
I said I didn't give you very much, so hopefully.
Hopefully I'm okay. Well, I don't drink anymore, really. This is like my big time drink right here.
It's
Right here at the show.
6.9% by volume, so.
Is that a lot?
Well, I mean, like a light beer is 4.2, wines 5 to 6. So
Oh, okay. So, you never know. That's all right. So, my husband will be happy if I'm a little tipsy, so that's okay. So, what else did I want to see? Now
sidetracked it. We're talking the spring market, slow.
The spring market, it was slow. Hopefully that means that we're going to be very robust here in about a month. I know that I got some listings coming out in April. One of the things that I want to do is tell people that are on my Facebook, realtors or non-realtors, you know, we talk all day long to people who would sell if. I really think that we need to start communicating who would sell if. And maybe we can start doing some matchmaking.
Sure.
Even with you probably get people that get pre-approved and you know that they're looking, you know, in Grand Rapids Township, that you need to start maybe reaching out to your realtor, your friends, and say, Michelle brought in a buyer, the buyer's looking in Grand Rapids Township, do any of you have any I would sell if? Because I have a lot of buyers that would give seller time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I have buyers that say, I'm okay, you know, if I could find the house of my dreams, I could give the seller all the time they need to sell their house.
Right.
And so we need to start talking to each other. We need to like not keep it as a secret anymore. We need to communicate. You know, I'm willing to share what I got. If you're willing to share what you got, I think it's going to be really, really important that we help each other with this type of thing and really start communicating.
Yeah, and I just think you need to be, as an agent, as a listing agent especially, be open to the contingent offer, because like you said, I've got several right now where it worked out better that it was contingent because they were like, you know what, I'll take your offer, but I need 60 days. And then my person was like, perfect, and because they had to sell their house anyway, so it gave everybody, it was the perfect domino effect. But sometimes I just think I've had agents who said, I'm not kidding, I do not want a pre-approval that's contingent anything. I'm like,
You gotta be kidding me.
yeah, and it's a very rare instance where you have a customer who can go non-contingent to sell in their own place. And typically in the equity out, and it's difficult because when we're talking contingent, non-contingent, what that means is I own a house, I want to sell it, but I had to sell it before I can buy this next one. So it's contingent to the sale of my house. Well, hopefully I'm in a pretty good equity position so I can pull that equity out. Even if I'm not in that great of equity position, I still need the money out. So I need a buyer, or excuse me, a seller wants to work with me to get there. And I just think too many agents have become pigeonholed and think, nope, no one's taking contingencies. We can't even look that route. Now,
And you might be losing the best buyer.
Right.
Sometimes it's the higher offer that loses, and it's a contingent.
Yeah.
You might be losing the solid buyer, and the best buyer is not just money. The best buyer is the loan financing. The best buyer is the buyer that's going to go through this process with the least amount of headache.
Right.
You know, sometimes, you know, your first-time home buyer is very ignorant to what they're doing, and I can tell you, you will get a laundry list of this much of, and your first-time home buyer is not just lower, and you know, like not under 200,000.
No.
Sometimes we get first-time buyers that are from Chicago or from California, from New York, that are buying their first home at the $500,000 price bracket because they just couldn't afford to buy a house in their metro cities. So they're 40 years old and they're buying their first home for $500,000, and you want to go through that. They're very, very well educated. They had a lot of time to read. So
That can be good or bad, though.
I know.
Being too educated on the buying side can be harmful.
I know.
Because they think they know more than the loan officer and they read something, but whatever. But no, but you're right. I mean, you know, I just think we need to overall have everybody needs to work more as a team just to help get things through, because there are less and less homes on the market. We're all seeing that, and taking a contingent offer is not always a bad thing. I mean, I totally understand sometimes why you don't do it. I get it. But there's so many instances where I think you're right. People are not opening up the window enough, or it's not being presented to the seller in the right way to make sure, you know, that it's not the best deal for them.
So I want to do some shout outs. I see that David Jackson is watching. He's a friend of both of ours. Hi, David. Paula Wise. Hi. Sue. Hi. Jeff, nice to see you. Mike Green. Helen. I'm really, really glad that you guys are watching. If you will share our video for your friends and family to watch, and we love that we're sharing this recipe with you too. Now I have to show you this. So Wendy's been working really, really hard in the background. Her son has smoked some corned beef, and it smells really, really, really good. So they smoked the corned beef, and then Wendy chopped it up into these pieces that Jason's doing over here. She has potatoes that are pre-boiled, is that correct?
Yes.
And it looks like they're red potatoes, and
Yeah.
so when you do that, you don't want to cook them too done, almost al dente, because we're going to put them in the oven again. So you don't want them to be so done that they're going to be mushy, because then your whole casserole will be mushy. And then she thinly sliced, look at this, just like she did, almost as thin as the sweet potato, she thinly sliced these carrots, and then she's putting them in this too. Now, what did you season them with, Wendy?
I put in, trying to think of what. Oh, that will have the thyme, and it will have the rosemary, and we have to drizzle it with the oil. I wanted you to pick an oil that you liked.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. Here's our, oops, gotta be careful, our sweet potato.
Oh,
So here is our crust, and it has our garlic, our red onion, and our spinach. And now we will pour the nutmeg mixture.
Now remember, this is coconut milk, egg, and nutmeg essential oil.
Yep.
And she's pouring that over there. And I will tell you, I wanted to get the can out. Here it is.
So creamy.
This is the coconut milk we use because it's almost like heavy whipping cream.
Yeah.
So that's our place for that. And then we're going
That
to put
can
this
go
back
the
in.
oven. Now, you can put cheese on this, or you can put goat cheese, or you can leave it plain. Or you can put a little almond meal, whatever you like.
You want as much meat as possible on there?
Yeah. And we can kind of push it down in.
Alexa, dismiss. It's really cool. So watch this on the Alexa. I want to show you something. Now let's see if it works. So, Alexa, find the Gordon Group GR Real Estate.
Here are your audiobooks.
Oh! Alexa never understands me.
I think she's been having some of the cider.
So, I know. So anyway, I guess Alexa can't understand me while I've been drinking. But it's funny, but you can find real estate professionals and you can find your lender on Alexa. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So
I need to have a chat with Alexa.
you need to have a chat with Alexa before you go. But we're on there. If Alexa would understand you, you would be able to find us.
Competition to advance AI.
Alexa, go home.
We have one of those at home.
So this is really cool. Look at what this is looking like.
This will be what's left over from your Irish meal this
yeah.
past weekend. And so I had purchased an extra corned beef and Mark put it on the smoker. And so we sliced it up. And the potatoes I parboiled, so we wanted to have it in the oven too long. So, and a little cabbage.
She's much more prepared than I am on my shows. I'm very impressed.
Once again, I'm going to use rosemary for this with the grapeseed oils that
Yes,
you picked.
yes.
And I'm really only going to use 2 drops, mainly because it's just way so powerful. And this oil, the thyme oil, is heart healthy. This is excellent for your heart.
So
we're going to use thyme. It has a good flavor, but very potent, so we don't want more than 2 drops.
So let me ask you something. So when we're putting the essential oils in here and the flavor's good, how much does a person have to eat of this to actually get the health benefit from it, though?
Well, it's very potent, but I would be seasoning with some dried herbs. I wouldn't know how much health benefit I'm getting from it,
Okay.
but I know one thing, that our oils are cell permeable, so they literally are in your cell, they heal your cell. So I try to use as much as possible, like a little lemon in my drink in the morning, or
So if you're using it on so it's not just like the consumption just at this meal, it's like using it on a daily basis.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
If a recipe calls for nutmeg, I'm using my oil.
Well, I use the heck out of nutmeg, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, and when I'm making a lasagna or anything Italian dish, I'll use oregano oil, and I will use our basil, sweet basil. So I have.
I bet it's better than fresh.
I'm just waiting to take a bite of this stuff.
I know. All right, see? I think he's liking this meal better than anything
hungry.
we've made ever.
Oh, it's the corned
I'm just waiting for Nicole to say, Jason, bring me food home.
Yeah, no, she's going to, because this is,
Oh,
especially with
I
that
don't see
sweet
that she's
potato
on
crust.
here. She's not
I
watching
think she's
us.
actually working right now.
Oh, is she working?
I think so.
Oh, Nicole.
So I will
So
put a little
you'll
tiny-
watch this in replay, and we miss you right now.
I'm going to.
But can you smell that?
Oh, I
Smell
can.
that.
Yes.
There is nothing more fragrant. Like, I'm psyched.
I know.
I'm not like, I mean, I would help my friend Wendy sell anything, but like, this really smells like a fresh herb that you just put on
It
there.
does.
I'm psyched.
I'm
Right.
just gonna try to get some of that meat down in, and we'll put that in the oven.
Do you want a fork, like a big fork?
Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good. So we'll try to mix it up a little bit. Let that oil get down in there. So this can go in.
You got that one in there? Okay. Now,
And I think I would like to put something on top of that, even if it's a cookie sheet, just to keep
you want a
that
glass lid for
moisture
it?
in there. I put a little bit of water in there for moistness sake. Kind of like a boiled dinner would be.
Sure.
Evidently, I don't know where anything is in my kitchen. So, I do have a glass lid to it somewhere,
Oh,
but.
that's fine.
Put it in
Whatever.
there. Put it in, go ahead and put it in.
I'll put it in.
All right. No, you know, is it okay? It is
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Oh, I can put it in the bottom. Nope, I can't. That's good.
Okay, we're good?
That's good.
All right,
Good
so
enough.
it's all cooking.
And I do.
Now we have, she came prepared, so we don't have to wait for it to cook. So we've been heating up some of the things that, let's see. So Jason, what
Yes.
should people do? Name some things if they're getting ready to sell their home and they want to get prepared to buy a house. Can you go over some of the things they need to do?
From the house perspective or from mortgage side?
Mortgage side, please.
Well, one, get pre-approval. I mean, that's what we talk about all the time, but you want to make sure you know where you're at. A lot of clients get ready to sell and they don't want to go get pre-approved because they say, well, I'm just going to wait till my house sells. Well, that's the wrong answer. Go get pre-approved just to make sure there's nothing on there, no bugaboos or anything goofy that, it might be a minor thing, but I've shared this
Right.
before, 22% of credit reports nationally have errors. Not all big errors, but some sort of error. It's a big number. So you want to go get your pre-approval in place to one, make sure you're good to go for the next one, but also look at options of possibly bridging the gap of equity in case you do have to go contingent excuse me, to pull that equity out to get to the down payment in other place. So that's something we can look at when we do it. We'll do an analysis of what's your current equity position, what can we pull out for the down payment, can you qualify with both those payments there, and just make sure what options are available to you.
Right.
What I see happening with most, I shouldn't say most, with several lenders is they just don't do their due diligence. They don't go deep for the customer. They don't look into what options might be best for them. This goes back to what we talked about a while ago with submitting clean offers. You want to make sure you know exactly what to do. Do you need to ask for a big seller concession where you're asking the buyer, or excuse me, the seller to give you $5,000 for closing costs? Well, that's going to hurt you, especially if you have that, you're contingent, if you happen to be an FHA or what other people
Right.
consider bad loans. That's just what we're trying to do is look at all the options available, do what we talked about on, I know it was the first show, financing some of your closing costs in. You can do that where you take a little higher rate, but you don't need down payment. So
I have somebody right now that thought their credit was fine and they were ready to sell their home, and Amanda and I went in for the appointment. We sent them to get pre-approved and they weren't ready to buy. Can you imagine, had we sold their home and then they went and did it, they would have been under contract.
I've had that happen this year.
Have you had that
They
happen?
sold their house like that, then they went to come see me, and the credit score was like 525.
So now they have to break a contract.
Oh, they
or-
didn't. They didn't. They sold and they're renting.
Okay, so they sold
Was
and they're
not ideal.
renting, or you break a contract and then you can get sued.
Correct.
Right, so
I've had that too.
you kind of, yeah, so you got to do that pre-approval first. And I think if you don't do the pre-approval first and you don't get the CMA, the competitive market analysis from us, from where you think your house is gonna sell, I don't think you have a big picture to be able to make a decision.
Yeah, well, the
You
problem
need to
is
make a
you have
decision.
customers who go in, they go, oh, my house on Zillow says it's worth this, so I can sell it for that. And according to my estimate, a new payment for $300,000 is $800.
Do you know what it says on Zillow, that they have a 20% error rate?
Yeah, because they don't have tax insurance. But again, if you're listening and you're considering
So-
pre-approval, it doesn't cost you anything. At least not through me. Other places may. Pre-approval is free, so it hurts nothing. Just educate yourself.
And for us on the realtor side, even if you're waiting until the perfect house comes, we still want you to get your house ready. We want to come out and get your pictures. We want to help you get staged. We offer free staging. It's not us, it's actually a stager. We offer free staging. We want to come out and get your pictures. We want to come out and get your 3D tour. We want to get it all in file. So when you do buy that house, it goes really fast, doesn't it, Jason?
Yes.
It goes super duper
Very
duper
fast.
fast. And if you accept an offer in a home when it's raining and icky weather, those are the pictures I'm going to take at that time.
Mm-hmm.
If you let me do it now, I get to pick the sunny day. I get to pick the nice, timing. I get to get marketing ready. I get to get postcards ready. I get to get flyers ready. So when it's time to pull the trigger, we just go boom, done. But anyway, I think we're done. We want to try a little bit, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a little plate?
All right,
It's
I do
delicious.
have little plates. So here's 3 plates here. I'll get out some forks. And you need a serving.
Yes.
So-
Also a spatula for the.
Oh, yes.
So we have a little Irish dinner and a little quiche.
I I love this idea. So here's a serving spoon there.
This is good.
There it is. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
thank
All right.
you.
So,
So I'll let you serve up what you would like, you know,
Okay.
how much you'd like of that. And,
Here's
Jason, here's a
that.
fork.
so Wendy made this quiche 2 ways. Come get a close up of the quiche. So you can probably tell this side has no cheese, does it?
This is the cheese.
Oh, I'm young. So this side has cheese,
Right here, yeah.
and this side doesn't.
Yep.
So this side I can eat. So
Absolutely. Oopsie, we'll cut it this way and sharpen. And you'll see how nicely that sweet potato crust works. Yeah, see that?
oh my gosh.
So how nice that is? Okay.
Okay, you guys serve up, but look at this. Look at that crust. That's
You
awesome.
want cheese on yours?
Yes, let's do cheese. We need to try that for the audience.
And you may need I don't remember if I put salt and pepper in this one, so you may need a little salt and pepper.
Right. I didn't get to partake on St. Patty's Day in the quarter beef, so.
Oh, yes.
So while we're serving up, I'm going to start ending every show because now we're hitting spring and you're probably going to overbid on a house. Just know you didn't overpay, you just bought too soon. So.
This is delicious, Wendy. I'm not just, this is,
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
like spinach, but this is really good.
Yeah,
This is kale.
yeah.
Even
I
better.
made one with kale, and then we had the spinach one in the oven.
Yeah, this one's
so-
kale. You're eating
I'm
kale.
eating kale. Honey,
Nicole, your husband's eating kale and sweet potatoes and nothing. All right, guys. Cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thank you.